This school in Mosul stands empty. This street makes for dangerous playground as snipers threaten overhead. This is what childhood looks like for these families. Over the course of this year, children in conflict zones like here in Iraq have been singled out in attacks. UNICEF says those involved in conflict are blatantly disregarding international humanitarian laws designed to protect the most vulnerable, children.
It's normal now that you can target a hospital. A group of doctors in Syria told me recently when I was in northern Turkey how the armed groups wouldn't even come near the hospital because the hospital was more of a target than the armed groups. So hospitals and schools are being deliberately attacked, children are being brutalized, and it feels like all the rules in war, as you say, that used to at least protect civilians and children in particular in these terrible wars have all disappeared.
Finally, some light relief for people in rebel-held eastern Ghouta in Damascus. After 4 years of being trapped in the middle of the fighting, a few patients with urgent medical needs have been allowed to leave. UNICEF warns millions of children are also becoming indirect casualties of conflict from being displaced as well as being made homeless. This refugee camp in Bangladesh is home now for Rohingya refugees from Myanmar, of which 400,000 are children.
The children who have stood by while soldiers have raped their mothers, have shot their father, have even brutalized those children themselves. And they're saying to those children that they're deliberately doing this.
In eastern Ukraine, many children live by the front line. They show the scars of living in one of the most mine-contaminated places on Earth. The situation is worse in Yemen, where aid agencies are struggling to help. 5,000 children have been killed or injured, and many more are severely malnourished or at risk of death. A similar situation is unfolding in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where violence has driven hundreds of thousands of kids from their homes. UNICEF is appealing to all parties involved in conflicts around the world to stand together and protect the rights of children. Hannah Hockstar, Al Jazeera.